Okay, today is April the 12th, 2016, and right now at 9:40 in the evening, we have a barometric pressure of 30.06 or 1,018 millibar, which has risen slightly. We have a temperature of 54 degrees. The relative humidity is 88%, and the dew point is 51 degrees. And today in Los Angeles, we had mild chemtrail spraying. We saw the jets spraying aerosols mostly in the morning up here near the foothills. But right now we're watching the MODIS Today map because it's interesting to look around and see where they focus their efforts of spraying today. And we can see that right over Los Angeles, which is right here, we have some streaks. We have some aerosols being sprayed. We can see that in this map right here. And that's because we have clouds over these mountains. All right, so we had some moderate spraying going on today. But what's interesting, let's go and look up at the, let's go north now and take a look at what's happening over the southern Sierra Range. Now, the Interstate 5 goes up along here and it goes through the Grapevine, and we end up down on the other side of this hill in the San Joaquin Valley right here. This is the beginning of the flat 500-mile long farmland that goes all the way up to Redding. And here's the High Sierra that runs all the way along the eastern side of this San Joaquin Valley. Now look where all the chemtrails are being focused here. We have plenty of natural cloud cover right here, all the way up along the spine of these mountains. And what do we see here is a concentrated effort, a concerted effort to spray these clouds. And we see that haze all the way through here, all the way up. It's especially heavy up here. Some of this stuff is probably thunderstorms, and they've capped it with all this chemtrail spraying, and that will stop these thunderstorms from convecting and from generating snow and rain. So this is interesting. As we pan around, we don't see a whole lot of chemtrails other than where the concentrations of clouds are over the mountains, like right here. This is Riverside, San Bernardino, and out this way, then we have Palm Springs. We got the Salton Sea and all that. But this is interesting here because this is where we get our water, and some of this Sierra snowpack is directed down towards LA. And look where they're spraying. This is where they focus their efforts. We got an opportunity for more snow and more rain. They're up spraying to prevent all that. So there's an effort to, this is not solar radiation management, by the way. This is an effort to stop this rain and this snow from occurring by capping it. This stuff causes a capping inversion layer. These clouds cannot convect, and they will not generate snow and rain. And that's all there is to it. I believe that the SRM argument is a straw man argument. It's used to divert attention from the real purpose of these aerosols, and that is to stop the rain. That is to stop the rain and the snow, and that's what we're seeing here. All right. Now, if we pan around, we can see some chemtrail haze right here. But there was not a whole lot of spraying, as I say, today. We see a lot of natural clouds in this today's view. This is the USA 5 map, MODIS Today satellite. And here we are now. We're looking in Mexico. And if we pan down a little bit, there's just not a whole lot of chemtrail activity going on, except for where we were just looking, and that is up right here over the southern High Sierra. We can see those streaks all over the place, all through here. And as we go north, it's very heavy. It extends all the way out to the east. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and look at the, this is the water vapor loop for the Northeast Pacific, and we can see this moisture is now moving into Northern California. I haven't checked to see if any of the Eureka or any of these other cities are getting any rain, but it looks like it could be happening. We can see what's happened here, though, is we've got something that's opened this all up right there. We've got an area of high pressure that's been installed right here, and that is clearing out the this front. It's breaking up this front. We can see that happening. If you go back to the water vapor loop, we can see that they've got a transmitter right here. This is a developing storm system right there. They've got heat on that, and that is, we can see the evidence of that. Let's go back and look at the, there's a huge clearing here where they've been targeting that area. We've got this other storm out here. This is a big storm, very powerful. I think it's a 968 millibar. We'll check that here in a second. But notice, we're going to take a close-up look here of the Bay Area. All this cloud, all of this incoming moisture is breaking up right as it moves into the Bay Area. And we can also see chemtrail aerosols being sprayed all along here. Pardon me, all through here. There's a lot of chemtrail activity going on before this gets on shore. So this is good evidence of another deliberate attempt to throttle back the rain potential in this moisture field. We have a big storm right here that is developing. This is really gained strength just in the last 8 hours, actually. I was watching this morning. It looked nothing like that. So this is a rapidly developing system right here, and they've got a transmitter on that. We can see that activity. There's a lot of heat being applied right there. That dark area is right. That's the center of where they're hitting that transmitter, focusing that transmitter. Okay, let's look at the. This is the surface analysis map, and we can see this is identified as a storm. This is what we were just looking at right offshore. We've got a couple of other lows up here that are spinning around, and this is indicated to move pretty much due east. We have this storm out here. It's now 972 millibar. This is that big storm. This is moving, going to move to the northeast. And then we have high pressure. This is pretty much a perpetually installed high pressure unit here that just moves around. Right now we've got, as I say, 30.06 pressures on the rise. Because of what's happening right here, we've got a good shot of rain, and we'll have to see what develops, because this high would normally be walled up all over the west coast, but this has moved out, and so there is a possibility that we could get some rain here in the next few days. And let's take a look next at the this is the tropical Pacific, the wide view. And we can see a lot of thunderstorm activity down here off of Mexico. There was a thunderstorm that was blown apart here earlier today, and all this steam is the evidence of, or rather the leftovers of that event. All right. Okay, next, let's take a look at the, this is the 500 millibar map, and we can see that low pressure that was sitting over Southern California has moved out over New Mexico, and there it is. We can see a little bit of evidence here of low pressure in the area. We can see some ridges up here, and we have 2 or 3 lows right up here spinning. All right, let's look at the 300 millibar map. Pretty much the same thing. Okay. We have the jet stream right here that's moving, turning up towards the north west. But let's go back and take another look at what's happening here in the water vapor map. And I think we're going to see a lot more chemtrail aerosols tomorrow, which is Wednesday, tomorrow, because of what we're seeing here. This high pressure has not really done its job, and we're watching this moisture field move in. So I think tomorrow we're going to see a lot of chemtrail activity. Let's just take a look again at the, now watch what happens right here with this moisture field. This is a rather large moisture field right here moving in, and as it moves over the Bay Area, it just disintegrates. It just vanishes. Right here. Just vanishes. It's amazing. And they do have golf ball radars, like I say, at Pillar Point, which is an Air Force installation right near Mavericks. And we have them down here off of San Pedro and off the Channel Islands. And we've seen exactly the same thing as what we're seeing here down on the LA coast. All right. So that's pretty much the summary. It was a nice day today, except for the chemtrails. We had nice clean air yesterday, and then today we could smell a chalky chemtrail residue as it settles to the earth. So these aerosols do dry the air out. They are a desiccant. They lower the relative humidity, and they really have nothing to do with solar radiation management. That's a cover story. The fact is when they spray the chemtrails, the temperature goes up, the humidity goes down. Okay, now if their story was true, that is, if the solar radiation management was true, a true story, when they sprayed those aerosols, we would have cooler temperatures, and the humidity would probably rise because of the cooler temperatures. But that's not happening. The exact opposite is happening. So that's it. We will certainly do another update tomorrow.